cool filter on here. That's cool. Cool, so no one's in the chat yet. Oh, we got one person. So, as always, if you are not joining us live and you're watching this video after it's been uploaded, there will be a link in the comments below that will link you to a time in the video where we will be beginning, because this first 10 to 15 minutes is just people arriving, giving people time to arrive. So yeah, if you are I've just realised how low this top is. If you, I usually have a crop top on under here. If you are not watching it live, just go to the link below and we'll send you to a space in the video where we actually are beginning. This particular session will be quite easy because I've had a lot of, well, it depends where you're at in your practice, whether it'll be easy or not. But it's going to be relatively easy because I've had a few people message me saying, Possy, can you do a session for beginners, because I've been to yoga classes before and I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that, and I felt really unable. So I figured, yeah, okay, cool, I'll do that. But if you're not a beginner and you're an advanced practitioner, or you're very well seasoned in your practice, then you can join in too, because it'll be nice, it'll be relaxing, it'll be like meditative, I guess, chilling. You can just be in it for the chill. So because I have noticed how low this top is without a crop top on, I am just going to go nip to the other room and put my crop top on because I feel really exposed. So just bear with me one moment, chat amongst yourselves. Bit of a wardrobe malfunction there for a second. Good. Hi. So yeah, for this session, you will need just enough space to lie down, enough space to sit, perhaps enough space to take your arms out, but if not, don't worry, I don't really have that space either. If you want to grab some cushions to sit on, that's completely fine. If you have anything that resembles a yoga block, might be useful. Not essential, but could be useful. You can use anything that you can use to give the floor a little bit of height, like a thick book or an upturned cooking pot. Anything, you can use anything you like that resembles a block if you don't have one. You might want to use a strap at some point. If you don't have a strap, don't worry, you can use anything, a belt, a toweling robe belt, a scarf, but you might not need it. Again, you might not need it, but if you feel like that is something that you might benefit from, you can go ahead and grab one. Not essential, but you may feel like you benefit from it. Hi, Fran, hi. Which Fran? Fran H, do I know you? I know a couple of Frans. Let me know which one you are. Yeah, so I was saying before I had a wardrobe malfunction, I didn't have my little crop top on, and I didn't realise how low cut this top was without the crop top, so I had to change. I was saying before that this session is going to be relatively easy, relatively simple, because it is aimed at beginners, because I've had a few messages asking me if I could do a beginner session. However, if you're not a beginner, that's completely fine. It can just be a nice relaxing, unwinding session, which is also quite nice. Sometimes we can get carried away with yoga and want it to be something that it not necessarily is. So sometimes it's quite nice to take it back a step if you're advanced, and if you're not advanced, then maybe it will feel like a workout. So we'll see how it goes. And plus, the beginners, I've actually written a yoga plan for this one, so you're in luck. I was sat in the garden today actually writing out a plan. I don't often do this, okay? Of some things that we could do. I mean, usually I teach intermediate vinyasa, so sort of really going back to basics, even for me, is a bit like, okay, I gotta put myself in those shoes now of where I was like 8 years ago. And we've all been there. We've all started yoga at some point. If today's the day that you're starting, fantastic. But if you've done yoga before, you'll know when you first started, it was a bit daunting at times. But it's not as complicated as you think. It doesn't have to be as complicated as you think. It can be. I mean, even for me, sometimes, like, I'll go online and I'll see these videos of women and men doing yoga, and it kind of feels like these days if you can't do a handstand, then you can't do yoga. But obviously we know that's not the case at all, not one bit. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. If you can move a little, you can do yoga. If you can do nothing at all, you can do yoga. So there's so many variants out there of what yoga is. So it doesn't have to be this over-complicated, over-glossy, twisty-turny mega thing. It is what it is. And we all come to yoga for different reasons. Some of us might be coming to yoga just for the health benefits of it, the flexibility, the strength. And some of us may be coming to it for a space in our mind. So maybe you might be coming to yoga for the mental benefits. Maybe you're just bored this evening and you want to try something out. Maybe that's why you're here. Personally, I come to yoga 8 years ago from a place of grief because I lost my father, and also a place of loneliness because I'd moved to a new place and I spent a lot of time in this tiny flat that I was living in Shropshire, and I didn't have any friends at the time, so yoga was my friend, so that's why I came to yoga. So yeah, yoga doesn't have to be all splits, headstands and handstands, not at all. As long as it takes you to that place in your mind where you need to be, and you're doing yoga, yeah? So we've got about 6 people in here right now. I'd just like to say hello to everyone. If you are able to, drop a comment, let us know where you're from, let us know who you are, let us know why you're tuning in. Is it your first time doing yoga, or have you done yoga before but you're still a beginner? Have you done lots of yoga and you're tuning in for the chill? Let us know where you're tuning in from, why you're tuning in, and who you are and who you're practicing with. I'm just going to double check that the plug is turned on so my phone doesn't turn off mid-practice, because that would be a disaster. Oh, that's good, it is. Good, we have power. We have power. We have the power. I am grand, thank you. I hope you're grand. Hope you can join in this evening and take something away from it. So I am in a very small space in the smallest room in the house. I am in like a 2 meter by 2 meter square room, and if I can do yoga in this space, and actually the yoga that I'm going to be doing this evening is like in a third of the room because my camera won't pick it up otherwise. If I can do it in that space, you guys can probably do it in the space that you're in too, because I have a lot of people on this YouTube channel who are joining in from inside their van. We have a lot of van lifers on my YouTube channel, so hopefully you guys can join in too if you're in a tiny space. Yeah, so you don't need a lot of space for this. You don't even need a mat. You can see I'm not using a mat, because when I use my mat it sort of moves around on the carpet and bugs me. So I am not going to be using a mat this evening, so you don't have to either. If you have trouble sitting on the floor cross-legged like I am, just like this, or like schoolyard cross-legged, if this feels crazy to you, find yourself a pillow or a couple of pillows just to give yourself a bit of height, and you'll find that it makes it a little bit easier to sit. This evening we won't be sat for very long. We'll just sat for about three or 4 minutes. I'm going to give it a try. Sorry, I'm trying to read your comments at the same time. Hi Possy, I'm going to give it a go this evening. My first time trying yoga. Brilliant. Stick with it. There might be a few things that you think, crikey, what is this? But bear with it, it will come. She wants to laugh at you. She should be supporting you, not laughing. Although I do laugh at my boyfriend actually when I'm teaching him yoga sometimes. That's just because I'm mean to him. But yeah, grab all the props and blocks that you need this evening. Have you tried hot yoga? Yes, actually, where I'm living right now, like 3 or 4 minutes walk around the corner, there's a hot yoga studio called Hot Buddha. And I bought like a 30-day pass. Yeah, come give it a go. Yeah, there's a hot yoga studio around the corner from where I live at the moment, and I was going there like every single day. And then I think just over a week ago they announced that they had to close. Hi Carla! Yee, Carla! Carla's my buddy, my bestie. Although I never get to see her because she lives a million miles away. Yeah, I was going every day to this hot yoga studio. Absolutely love it. I'd never done hot yoga before, but hooked. I just sweat pouring off me and feeling really radiant, like because I felt like I'd been in a sauna. But yeah, they closed because of this whole coronavirus. So hopefully they've paused my membership. I miss you too. When this is all over, Carla, I am coming for you. I am coming. Coming to get you. So yeah, I can't wait till the hot yoga studio's open again. You can't really imagine, well, it's kind of like hot yoga, but like not hot. I mean, we could make it hot. We're definitely due a hike. I need to bring Buster to Wales, and we need to make him really tired up those hills. Ah, that was the idea actually. The idea was, yeah, I left my previous job, and I was going to see all my friends, and now I can't. No, I can't. Oh well, never mind. Life changes, life goes on. I'm sure this will all be over in a few months, and we'll all be back on track. So I think it is 7:30 now. So we will definitely begin. So I'm going to move back. Hopefully you can still hear me. Assume the position. Nice. So we're going to start seated to begin with. Music's gone crazy, so we'll turn that down. So we're going to start seated to begin with. So any ways that feels good. If you're sat up cross-legged and it's your first time, I know there's a couple of first timers in here, and you feel like you're sat a bit like this, I can see you now. It's completely fine to feel like this. This is not a way that you're used to sitting. If you prop yourself up on a couple of pillows or cushions or something that you have available, you might find once the hips are elevated, the knees can sort of drop open a little bit and it feels a little bit more relaxed. But we are literally going to be here for about 3 minutes, just breathing. So something that you'll be familiar with if you do yoga a lot is the word asana. So asana is at the end of every name of every pose. So like trikonasana, tadasana, all the yoga pose names end in asana. So we associate that to mean pose. Asana, it means pose. But from my understanding and from what I've read and come to understand is asana actually means to sit, but over the years it's become to mean pose from my understanding and my studies. So I kind of feel like it's really important when you start yoga for the first time to learn how to sit. It's like the most important yoga pose in my eyes. So I always like to start my classes sitting. So you've probably been sat for a while already, so we'll begin. So wherever you are, come to a nice tall seated position on your mat. Close your eyes if you wish. Just take a couple of moments here to notice how your body feels. Probably feels a bit strange if you're not used to sitting like this right now. If you are feeling any tension in the body anywhere, so maybe you might feel it in the hips, you might feel it in the back, just acknowledge that sensation and see if you can just relax it a little. See if you can relax the face. Ignore your wife if she's giggling at you. So just starting to ground ourselves to come into the practice, just to get ourselves in that zone, in that space. Good, so one thing as well that we always talk about a lot in yoga is the breath. We always like to move with the breath in yoga where we can. So let's just take a couple of seconds here to tune into the breath. So just noticing the breath that you've arrived with this evening. My voice is just about to break. Notice how your breath is. Notice whether it's shallow or deep. Notice whether it's coming from the nose or the mouth. Wherever you are, just see if you can start to lengthen that breath. See if you can start to invite a little bit more air into the body. Good. So see if you can now count the inhale in. So maybe you can inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you exhale, see if you can count the same. So exhale in 1, 2, 3, 4. So see if you can keep that going just for a couple of rounds. We won't be long. Inhaling for 4. And exhaling for 4. Nice and easy, nice and simple. A couple more just like that. Inhaling 4, exhaling 4. Good, one more just like that. Inhaling 4, exhaling 4. Good. So you'll be happy to know we're going to start to lie down. So wherever you are, so it wasn't so bad, so far so good. So wherever you are, we're going to start to think about laying down on our mats or on our floor, wherever we are. in a nice, comfortable position. Make sure we've got enough room around us for our legs and our arms. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a big inhale, we're going to stretch it out, feet come together, stretch out long, arms stretch out long if you've got the room, big inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to bring both knees in for a cuddle and a squeeze. So nice easy pose here. So this pose is called the wind relieving pose. No guesses for why it's called that. So go ahead, relieve yourself if you have any wind. Much to your wife's delight, I'm sure. Good, so any movements here that feel good, maybe you want to take a little sway from side to side, or maybe you want to circle the knees. Good, you've got it. So keeping the knees in towards the chest now, we're going to release the arms. I'm going to start to think about taking the legs up long. So if you can't straighten the legs fully, don't worry, you can bend them a little, that's completely fine. But the aim is to try and keep the bum on the ground. If you feel like the bum's having to round and lift, place it down and put a bit of a bigger bend in the knees. If straightening your legs is available to you, you can. And also if you have a cushion to hand and you really can't have the bum feeling comfortable here in this position, you can put a cushion underneath your lower back or underneath your bottom, and it might help, might relieve any tension in the back and the hamstrings. Either way, we're going to see about pulling those toes in, flexing the feet, taking a few deep breaths into wherever you're feeling the tightness, the tension. So maybe it might be the hamstrings, might be the back, might be your big thumb, your big toe. Might be a big thumb. Good, you've got it, nice. So from here, we're going to see if we can start to pedal. So we're going to start to imagine that we are riding an invisible bike, but on our backs. So see if you can make big circles with the legs one at a time. Imagining that the pedals on the bike are really far apart and you have to take big strides here. Try not to beat up my plants in the meantime that I have decorated in the corner there. Good, so riding that bike nice and slow. Imagine that you're riding through treacle or you're riding through honey. And also as you do this, notice where you're feeling it in the body. You might feel like the abs are kicking in here just a little bit. You might feel it in the legs a little. Good, so wherever you are, we're going to cycle backwards now. So reversing the direction in which we're pedaling. And also trying to keep the breath nice and smooth and long. Remember we counted to 4 earlier. It should have felt nice when you had deep breaths going. See if you can keep those big deep breaths going here. Good, you've got it, nice. Good, so when you're ready, you're going to bring both legs to the top. So either that's bent knees or not. And then when you're ready, big inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to lower both legs to the ground with control. Remember, you can bend the knees here. It's crazy on the lower back. But we're lowering them down. Feel the abs kick in a little. Almost down, almost down, almost down. And then down. Relax. Good, well done. So from here, once again, we're taking that big inhale, full morning stretch. Stretch out the feet, stretch out the arms. And as we exhale, we're bringing the right knee in this time for a hug and a squeeze. So see if you can really give that knee a hug in. So you might be able to grab around the shin. If it feels really far away and you're definitely not grabbing around the shin, you can grab around the back of the thigh. And that feels good. So any movements here that feel nice, you can go for that. Maybe you want to circle the leg a little while it's in the hands. Maybe you want to roll the ankle if that feels good. Anything that feels nice here. Maybe you want to rock from side to side. Anything, absolutely anything that's calling out to you. Go for it. Good, you've got it, nice. So when we're ready, we're going to release the hands. I'm going to start to take that leg up towards the ceiling. Again, if you can't straighten the leg here, it's no big deal. If you can feel it, you're doing well. So from here, pulling the toes in towards the face, flexing the right foot. We're going to start to make some circles with that leg. So circles, as if you're drawing a circle with the foot, but the movement is originating from the hip joint. So you can make the circles as big as you like here if you have the space. And also you might find a breath pattern that works. So maybe you exhale down and round, inhale up and round. So just a few more like that. Chakra Padasana, so it's a circle with the foot, a wheel with the foot. Good, so wherever you are, we're going to start to change direction. So if you were going clockwise before, you'll go anti-clockwise this time, and vice versa. You should start to feel it in the thigh, perhaps. Good, so wherever you're at, you're going to take the leg back up towards the ceiling. And then when we're ready on an exhale, we're going to start to lower that leg down. Easy peasy. So when we're ready, we're going to inhale, full body stretch. Stretching it out from tip to toe, and as we exhale, left knee comes in this time. Give yourself a hug and a squeeze. Again, any movements here that feel nice, go for it. So maybe you want to circle the ankle on the left hand side. Maybe you want to sway from side to side. Maybe you want to itch your ear like me. Maybe you want to circle the hip. Anything that feels good, you go for it. So I always do the right leg first and then the left. So I was taught that you do the right leg first and the left because of the way the colon is shaped. So if you have any trapped wind or any constipation, it's good to do these poses with the right knee in towards the chest, then the left knee, because it pushes anything out. So you will be excused if you make a little stink. It's completely normal, completely fine. It's a running joke in yoga that everyone farts. And it can be true, actually. I certainly have been at the front of a class before and let out a little riff. Much to my surprise, as much as everyone else's. Good, so when we're ready, we're going to start to take that leg up towards the ceiling. Pulling the toes in towards the face. Remember, you can bend the knee, completely fine. Take a couple of breaths. Ooh, it feels good, right? So when we're ready, we're going to start to draw some circles with that leg. In any direction that feels good. So the movement's originating from the hip, and we're drawing circles in the sky with the leg and the foot. Just be careful of your coffee tables, be careful of your couch. And good, you've got it. Finding a breath here that works for you. So again, if you want to inhale up and round, exhale down and round. You should really be moving with the speed of the breath as well. I always like to imagine the breath as your dance partner. You want to think of it like that. Good, so when you're ready, changing direction. Oh, it gets achy after a while, right? Thighs doing a lot of work. Good, so when you're ready, leg all the way up to the sky. And then when you're ready, on your next exhale, lower it down towards the ground. Good, you've got it, nice. So big inhale, full body stretch. Stretch it out from tip to toe. And as you exhale, bring both knees into the chest. Give them a hug and a squeeze. And then when we're ready, we're going to start to think about placing those feet on the ground. Good, you've got it, nice. So we're going to come into something called bridge pose. So making sure the feet are relatively close to the bum, or as close as feels good. Just checking with what the knees are doing. If the knees are splaying open, see if you can keep the knees relatively close. You want about a fist space between the knees if you can, or less. Toes are parallel to one another. Feet are parallel to one another as if they're on little train tracks. So hands either side of the body here. Relax the shoulders. We're going to take bridge pose. So nice and easy. We do it with the breath. We inhale, we start to lift the bum. Roll up, maybe lift the lower back. If you can, maybe lift the middle back. Press into the ground with the feet. Bridge pose. And as we exhale, we're going to come down, middle back, lower back, bottom. So we keep it going. We inhale, peel off the bum, peel off the lower back, peel off the middle back. Maybe you come all the way up to the shoulders. And as you exhale, taking it down. Super easy, super nice. Massaging the back into the ground here as you move. moving with the speed of your own breath. Keep going a couple of rounds in your own time. Keeping the upper body relaxed. Ignore me, I am just reading my prep sheet. Good, you've got it. Nice, one more. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Nice. So we're going to inhale back up for the last time, promise. And we're going to hold it there once you reach the top. So press the feet into the ground. Maybe press the hands a little into the ground here. Just be aware of what the knees are doing. Don't let them sag open to the sides here if you can help it. So hold in here. If you can, try and lift the chest towards the chin to get a nice rainbow arc in the back. Don't worry about where you are. If you're all the way down here and that's where you're feeling it, you're doing great. You're doing yoga. That is your yoga. Good. So when you're ready on the exhale, start to roll all the way down. Boom, reaches the ground. And when it does, bring those knees back in for a cuddle and a squeeze. Good, you've got it. Nice. So something that's slightly more complicated if you've never done yoga before. If you have done yoga before, you'll know this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the left knee in towards the chest and let the right foot touch the floor. So you're looking a little bit like this right now. You're going to take the left outer ankle and place it across just below the right knee. So you're not going to put it on top of the knee, you're going to put it just at the lower portion of the thigh. There we go, like that. And then the left knee is going to open out to the side. So you should feel it in the left buttock. So this is called figure 4 pose. If you look at your legs, I guess it kind of looks like a figure 4. So if you're feeling it here, you're doing great. It's keeping the upper body relaxed. If you do want to go a little bit further, you can start to bring the right knee in towards the chest, and you really will feel it. You can hold it round, that you can hold with your hands around the back of the thigh, or you can hold around the shin. If this is too much for you, you can go back to having the right foot on the floor. If this is not enough for you, you can take the left hand and you can coax the left knee away. But wherever you are, wherever you're feeling the tension or wherever you're feeling the stretch, breathe into that space. Use the exhales. Whenever you come up against a little bit of tension in the body, a little bit of a stretch in the body, see if you can let out a big exhale, a big and see if you can use that exhale to soften that place off where the tension is building. Couple more breaths, you've got it, you're doing great. It's not so bad, this yoga business. You have to lie down a lot, right? Good, you've got it. Nice, so wherever you are, you're going to come out of that one. Put both feet on the ground, maybe a little bit wider this time, and just see if you can windshield wiper the legs from side to side, just to reset the hips. Good, and then when you're ready, bringing the feet back together a little. And this time we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So right knee comes into chest. We're going to take the right outer ankle again and put it on the lower portion of the upper leg towards the knee. So again, you're going to feel it in the right buttock this time. So you might find that one side's a little bit different to the other. That's completely normal, just because the way we are, like your right hand might be stronger than your left hand, for example. So when you're ready, if it feels good, you can keep it here. If you want a little bit more, you can start to bring the left knee in. Again, you can hold around the shin, or you can hold around the back of the thigh of the left leg. Taking a few breaths here. Noticing where you're feeling it, noticing how it feels. And also honour how it feels. If it feels like it really is too much, just back off a little. There's no competition, there's no rush to get anywhere, there's no ideal version of this pose. The idea of the pose is just to get the benefit that it's giving, which is a stretch in the right buttock at this point. Good. And again, you've always got the option to take right hand and coax right knee away if you do want a bit more. But only give your body what it needs, what it wants. Good, you've got it. A couple more big breaths. Good. So when you're ready, you're going to come out of that one, putting feet back on the ground, a little bit wider again, just a windshield wipe of those legs from side to side. Good. So when you're ready, one last time, we're going to bring those knees up into the chest, give yourself a hug and a squeeze. So we're going to keep the knees there. If you have the space, you're going to take your arms out into a capital T. So both arms out as if you're in like a crucifix type position. If there's not enough space around you to take the arms out wide, take the elbows out and take the fingertips to the shoulders. So we're going to take a big inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to lower the knees down to the left-hand side. So we're going for a twist. If the knees don't touch the floor and you're all the way up here and it feels really outrageous in the body, you can put some cushions underneath the knee on the left-hand side and you can prop yourself up on those cushions. But wherever you are, you should be able to relax in this twist. Take a few breaths, let gravity do the work. If you want to, you can take the eyes and the head and you can look over the right shoulder. That way you get the twist from all the way at the base of the spine to the top of the head, to the top of the head, to the top of the neck. So a couple of big breaths. Good, one more. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the knees back through center. Get yourself comfy because we're going to go to the opposite side. So when you're ready, on an exhale, you're going to take the knees down to the right hand side this time. So anywhere that feels good. If you want to, you can put cushion underneath the knees again on this side. And if you can look over the left shoulder. Letting gravity just take you. Letting gravity do its work. I always like to imagine I'm a bit like a sandbag in this one. Just completely floppy and heavy, and gravity's just doing its thing. So also really good this one if you can breathe deeply, as deep as you can. Just to massage the internal organs of the body. Give them a little bit of get a bit of movement happening. Especially if you've had one of those days where you can't think of anything to do and you've kind of been sat on the sofa all day. You can give the inner organs a good bit of movement so that you can, well, you know, take a little trip to the bathroom later. Good, so when you're ready, you're going to inhale, bring the knees back through center. Give yourself a love and a squeeze. And then when we're ready, we're going to make our way through to all fours. So any ways that feels good. Maybe you want to roll off to one side and come up. Maybe you want to rock up. Come through cross-legged. Anything that feels good. Either way, we're all going to meet up on all fours. On our mats, on our floor, on our wherever we are. Maybe you're braving it and you're out in the garden. My hair's gone crazy. All my hair clips are falling out. Good, so from here, we're going to make sure the hands are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. So we don't want to have the shoulders too far forward and crunching into the wrists here if we can help it. So we're going to try and stack everything up here so that the wrists don't get too much pressure on them. If you're not really used to sort of having a lot of weight on the hands, it can already be a little bit crazy. We're going to warm up those wrists anyway. So we're going to make sort of circles with the shoulders over the wrists. So imagine the upper body is just drawing circles over the hands here, just warming up those wrist joints. Also breathing, remember to breathe. Maybe you inhale forward, exhale back around. Anything that feels good here with the breath, as long as the breath is smooth and long. Good, then a couple in the opposite direction. Good, you've got it, you're doing great. Not as tough as you thought, I know. Pretty easy so far. Good, so when you're ready, coming back through center. If your hands are achy already, you can give them a little shake. And then we're going to come back to all fours wherever we are. So we're going to do something called cat-cow. Super easy and it's really nice, this one. So all we do is we inhale, we tilt the bum up, we tilt the head up, and we let the belly drop down. I imagine much like a cow's udder, because this one is called a cow. And then when we're ready, on an exhale, We round the head in and tuck the bum under like an angry cat. So when you're ready, you inhale cow, bum up, head up, belly drops, making the udder with the belly. And as we exhale, we round the bum, tuck the chin, cat pose. So keep it going, just a few of those with your own breath, inhaling and exhaling as you move. So it's inhale, head up, bum up, exhale, head down, bum down. Should feel really nice along the spine. Should be massaging, gently moving and massaging the muscles at the back, massaging the spine. Good, you've got it. Nice. So one more just like that. Good. So when you're ready, holding it there. If your hands are feeling crazy or your hair's having a malfunction like mine, you can shake out the hands again. And we are going to come back to all fours and we're going to do a little something for the calves. We don't tend to do much for the lower legs, but I find this one really nice. So wherever you are, you're going to take the left leg, you're going to step it back and press the toes into the ground. You're going to press back into the hands and press back into the left heel and stretch out that left calf. You should feel it all along the back of the lower back of the leg, the calf, the calf muscle. You're going to stretch into that. If you want to, you can inhale forward, exhale back. If you want a bit of movement there. Should feel quite nice if you have tight calves. Good, a couple more just like that. Good, when you're ready you start to think about swapping sides. So bring that left knee down, take the right leg back, so touching down with the toes, and then when you're ready exhale, press into the hands, press the floor away, and then press into the right heel, stretching down the right back side of the lower leg. Yes, we did it this time, we said it. Good. Again, if you want to add a bit of movement, you can inhale forward, exhale back. Good. You've got it. A couple more. Good if you've been running. Good. So when you're ready, bringing it back to all fours. If the shoulders and the wrists are aching now, we'll take a little child's pose. This is a really good one to rest in whenever you're in a yoga class and you feel a bit tired. So all you do is you take the bum back to the heels, take the arms out long, take a couple of moments here to rest. This is where I get to take a little cheeky drink of water. Couple of breaths, you've got it. Nice. Good, so when you're ready, we're going to come back to all fours, not long now until we move on. Good, look at this hair, crikey. Good, so when we're ready, what we're going to do is we're going to start to think about taking a little balance on all fours. So just as we did before, we're going to take the left leg out behind us, and we're going to lift it up. So if you've got that, and you're happy there, you can start to take the right arm out in front. If, like me, you've got walls, you can take a little, you can lean on those. But the idea is to balance. So if you've got that balance, you can hold it there. If you want to add a little bit of movement in here, you can exhale and you can bring right elbow through to meet left knee, little crunch. Oh, my hair's going. Inhale, take it back out long. Right arm goes out, left arm goes out. I'll just take that down. And then when you're ready, exhale, bring in right elbow to left knee. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, bring it through. Inhale, stretch it out. Good, coming back to all fours, we'll try same thing, opposite side. So we're going to take right leg back this time. And if you can, lift. So having it in line with the body. I've got a terrible arch in my lower back. Ideally you want a flat lower back. And then when you're ready, you're going to see if you can take the left arm out in front. So balance, cat-cow balance. So if you've got it here and you want to hold it here, this is already enough. You can hold it there. If you want to add the movement in, you can exhale, bring elbow, left elbow to right knee. Yeah, you've got it, nice. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more just like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then when you're ready, bring it back to all fours. Again, if you want to rest the hands, you can. You can give them a little shake. You can take a cheeky child's pose. And we'll move on. Everything's malfunctioning today. If you tuned in earlier, you realised I had a wardrobe malfunction as well as a hair malfunction. Good. So we're going to come back to plank here. No, not to plank, sorry. We are going to go to plank though. We're going to come back through all fours. And then when we're ready, we're going to tuck the toes under. And we're going to come into plank. Don't worry, we're not going to be here long. So all we're going to do is we're going to exhale. We're going to come back into all fours. Inhale, take it back to plank. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, plank. Just a little something to fire up the core, keep it going. Knees down and plank in your own movement, with your own breath. Are you feeling it? Should be feeling it. Good, so next time you come through all fours, you're going to hold it there. So when we're ready, we're going to come down into something called Ashtanga Namaskar, or the 8-point touch. So all we're going to do is we're going to start to think about bringing the chin and the chest towards the ground. You should have a little space just between the crotch and the floor. And then when we're ready, we're going to come up into our first back bend. So flatten yourself out onto the floor here. Then take your forearms out in front and come up into Sphinx pose. So this is good here, you feel good here, you can hang out here, that's completely fine. If you want a little bit more. So the idea isn't just to wrench yourself all the way up and crinkle into the lower back. The idea is to get a really nice, gentle, soft back bend. But if you really do feel like you want a little bit more here, you can press the hands into the ground and start to lift the elbows. Try and keep the shoulders nice and low here if you can. And also if the feet start to splay really far away from one another, try and keep the feet together-ish. So about a fist distance between the feet. So take a couple of breaths. You've got it, nice. Wherever you are, whether you're up or down, either on Sphinx or up a little higher, up to you. Keep a couple of breaths coming. Good. So when we're ready, we're going to start to think about making our way back into our very first downward facing dog. So wherever you are, you're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders, you're going to tuck the toes under, you're going to lift up and back into your very first downward dog. So downward facing dog is basically making this triangle pose, upside down V posture with the body. Very typical of yoga. If you've seen yoga before, you'll know everyone loves a bit of down dog. Good. So if you need to bend the knees here, don't worry. If you're looking a bit like this in your down dog, perfect. As long as you're feeling it, you're feeling it. See if you can look back towards the knees with the eyes. See if you can lift the bum up. Imagine that I've said it before and I'll say it again. You've got a little laser beam shooting out of your bottom and you're trying to shine it at the ceiling. A little bit of weight into the heels, so if you all look like this, no worries. Good, nice. Couple of breaths. Should feel relatively good, a bit strong on the shoulders if you're not used to it. Good, so when you're ready, you're going to take a little look towards the hands. We're going to walk the feet to the hands until we end up in a nice forward fold. So don't worry if your knees are super bent in your forward fold. In fact, it's probably nicer. Allow the arms to fall heavy once you arrive. Allow the head to fall heavy. If your hands aren't reaching the ground, honestly, don't worry about it. It's not the aim of the game. The aim of the game here is to get a stretch in the back portion of the body. And if that's what you're getting, that's what you're getting. Also, a lot of people tend to want to try and bounce on the hamstrings to try and touch the floor. It's only gonna cause a little bit of pain and perhaps injure the hamstrings actually. So take a couple of breaths here. So wherever you are, you're going to take the hands to the shins and you're going to start to look forward. Imagine that you've got a tea tray on the back and you're trying not to spill any of those drinks off the tea tray. So you might have really bent knees here and you've got your hands up quite high. Maybe you've got straight legs and the fingers are a little bit lower. We're trying to keep that back nice and flat. Good, you've got it, couple of breaths. Good, so we're going to bend the knees again now. When you're ready, we're going to see if we can step the right leg back. We're going to come into a lunge. So step the right leg back as far as you can. You're in a runner's lunge here. So try and make sure that the knee is over the top of the ankle here. You don't want to be lunging too far forward and causing a lot of pressure on that ankle joint, if you can help it. So just set yourself up here, and then when you're ready, we're going to start to think about putting that right knee to the ground and tucking the back toes away. So the idea here is you're going to feel stretch in that right thigh there. So if you're happy with it here, keep it here. Put a little bit of weight into the hips if you can. If you're happy here, keep it here. Fine, totally awesome. If you want to come up a little bit higher, you can take the hands to the left knee and come up a little higher. Look at my ponytail. Look, it's so crazy now. Good. So when we're ready, take a few breaths here. Just focus on where you're feeling the stretch. Breathing into that space. Good, you've got it, nice. So when we're ready, we're going to start thinking about taking our hands back to the ground if they're not already there. So framing the front foot, one hand either side of that front foot. We're going to tuck the back toes under, we're going to lift the back knee. Nice, you've got it. So when we're ready, we're going to take a little twist here. So putting your weight over into the right hand, we're going to start to think about lifting the left hand up. You can't see my left hand now, it's gone off the screen, but we are lifting it up, up and away. And if you can, you might not be able to, and that's completely fine. We're trying to look up towards that left hand. If you can't look up towards the left hand because it feels like the most strangest sensation ever, you can look forward or you can look down. Either way, we're going for that nice juicy twist. Good, you've got it, nice. One more big breath. I can see someone's leaving me a comment, but I can't read it because I'm all the way over here. I'll read it later. Good, so when we're ready, we're going to take the left hand back to the ground. We're going to put the right knee back down. We're going to take it back from here with the left foot into a plank if we can. So scoops that left foot back. See if you can step up into a plank. Good, you've got it. So from here, we're going to lower down onto our belly, so kind of like a press up, all the way down. You can come down knees, chest, chin, or you can come down as one entire unit. And then when we're ready, we're going to inhale into our back bend. So put the forearms out in front. And if you want to, maybe press into the hands, come up a little higher, but only if it feels good. Nice, so when we're ready, we're going to take the hands, put them back underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, we're going to come back into that downward facing dog. So second down dog of the evening. Any ways that feels good to get there. Nice, you've got it. Couple of breaths. No matter what your down dog looks like, just breathe there. Focus on where you're feeling it. Good, you've got it, nice. So when you're ready, looking at the hands, we're going to walk our hands to our feet until we end up in that forward fold at the front of our mat or at the front of our, wherever we are. Good, we're taking hands to shins. We're inhaling to come up with that flat back. So halfway lift, we call this. Good. Tea tray on the back, you're resting a load of drinks on your back there, you don't want to spill them. Good, you've got it, nice. Hey, we can all have a drink after this too. Good, so when you're ready, bend the knees a little deeper, take the hands to the ground. This time we're taking left leg back. So stepping that left leg all the way back. Good, and then when you're ready, putting that left knee down. Again, try and stack the right ankle underneath the right knee. And try and get that left knee back far enough that you feel the stretch in the left thigh. So if you're happy here, keep it here as long as you're feeling it. A little bit of weight into the hips. If you want a little bit more, you can start to come up. You can put the hands on the right knee. Breathe in here into wherever you're feeling it. Good, you've got it. Couple more big breaths. Nice, should feel good. Good, so when we're ready, I'm going to take both hands back to the ground if they're not already, either side of the right foot. So from here, we're going to tuck the back toes under, and we're going to lift that left knee. So if you can, you're going to start to think about taking right hand to sky this time, taking that twist on the right hand side. Now I'm very aware that you can only see the back of me. So if you can, you're looking up towards that right hand. Or if you prefer, you can look anywhere you'd like. Couple of big breaths, you've got it. Nearly done, nearly done. Good, so when you're ready, you're going to look down, place that right hand back on the ground. So this time, rather than stepping back, we're going to step forward. So bringing that left foot to meet the right foot. We're going to bend the knees nice and deep here. And we're going to keep those knees bent. Because what we're going to do is we're going to bring the upper body up into something called chair pose. So in chair pose, you can't see it if I do it because the camera is not high enough, but you can take the arms above your head. Or if you prefer, you can take the arms back. Should feel crazy on the thighs here, should feel really strong. So the other name for chair pose is awkward pose because it kind of feels that way. Let's take a couple of breaths here. You've got it, nice. Good, so when we're ready, we're going to start to think about folding back over, if we're not already. So you'll be happy to know we're going to start to think about sitting down now. So any ways that feels good, you're going to bring it down onto your bottom and stretch those legs out long. So we're nearly done. We've got a couple more poses to do and then we'll think about having a nice relaxation. Look at this hair. Good. Nice. You know what, I try my best and then it all fails. Good, so we're going to bring the toes in here. So we're flexing those feet in towards the face. We're going to take the hands either side of the body. Hands pressing into the ground. So if you can't press the hands into the ground and you're thinking, geez, I've got really short arms, it might not be that your arms are short, it might be that you have a bit of tightness up in the neck and you can't stretch the shoulders down enough to press into the ground. Also, another thing to be aware of here is make sure that you're not sitting into the tailbone. If you need to bend the knees, lift up and point the tailbone away. You should be able to feel the tailbone. It shouldn't be on there. You shouldn't be sat on it so that you can't feel it. So bend the knees if you need to here. If you don't need to bend the knees, then don't worry about it. We're going to take a big inhale here wherever we are. We're going to lift the arms. And as we exhale, we're going to fold over the legs. So don't worry where your hands come to here in this one. You might have super bent knees and your hands might be somewhere on your shins and you might be up really high. But as long as you're feeling it somewhere, so maybe you're feeling it in the hamstrings, you're feeling it in the back. Breathe into that space, it's perfect, it's fine. Wherever you are at is okay. So take a couple of breaths here wherever you are. Letting the upper body be heavy. Good. Just notice where your hands are here now. We're going to take a hold of wherever that is. So maybe it's the shins, maybe it's the ankles, maybe it's the toes. Wherever the hands are, grasp the leg there. We're going to inhale to look up and lift up a little. So we're lifting the chin here a little. We're trying to lift the chest. If your knees are bent, don't worry. And as we exhale, we're going to fold, and the chin is going to be the last thing to come down. And as you fold here, take a few deep breaths. Even open the mouth and let a little out if you need to. And notice how the exhales are going to soften you off a little. ready, you're going to inhale to come all the way back up. So we're going to come into something called cobbler's pose here. This is where I get to face the camera now and you have to see how mad my hair's gone. So we're going to see if we can take the knees out wide here and bring the soles of the feet together. So don't worry if your legs are really far away from you, it doesn't matter. What we don't want is to be like feeling a bit like this. So if you're feeling a bit like this, take the feet away a little. Maybe put a cushion under the butt here if you need to be a bit higher. And let the knees fall out to the side. So taking hold of the legs anywhere that feels good, the shins or the ankles, we're just going to butterfly those knees out to the side. So we've got another pose left, and then we're going to start to think about lying down for a couple of moments, and then you can go and have your wine, your beer, your hot chocolate, your movie time, or just go to bed. Good, so when we're ready, we're going to start to think about taking the legs out wide. So this is one of my favourite ones, this one. So don't worry about where your wide is. Your wide might be here, and that kind of feels crazy. Again, be aware of what you're doing on your bottom. Are you sitting on the tailbone or a little scooched back like this? See if you can lift the tailbone and sit on the butt. Also, yeah, you can put cushions under the bum here as well. So having the legs as wide as feels comfortable. I'm going to take the hands to the floor in front of us. Again, you can have bent knees here, no worries. We're going to take a big inhale in, lift the chin and chest. And as we exhale, we're going to fold forward. So you might only fold forward to here, and that's you done. But if you're feeling it, brilliant, it comes. I mean, if you practice this every day, within a month or so, you'll be a pancake on the floor. So take a few deep breaths, and maybe you notice with each exhale, you start to soften a little bit more. Might feel quite intense at the moment. That's fine. If it's the first time you've ever done this pose, I expect that it will feel tense. Couple of big breaths. I don't know if I'm a bit of a sadist, but I actually really like this posture, especially when I get quite low in it and it feels really intense. I kind of like the intense feeling. Good, so when you're ready, take it easy. We're going to inhale to come all the way back up. You're going to take the hands behind you, bend the knees, put the feet on the floor, and window wiper those legs from side to side. Good, you've got it nearly done. One more posture, just a cheeky one for the core before we lie down, and then you're going to get to have a super awesome relaxation time. That's the best thing about yoga, is at the end we all get to have a lie down. It's nice. Good, so when we're ready, bring the knees back together. So we should still be leaning back here into our hands. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hands to the undersides of the knees. We're going to lean back a little and lift the chest, just so you can start to feel the core engaged, feel the core turn on. And if this feels good here, keep it here. If you can see about lifting the feet off the ground. If that feels good, hold it there. If you're already feeling it, you're feeling it. If you want to go a little further, you can take the arms out. Yeah, you got it, nice. So when we're ready, if you want to, it's totally fine. Here is perfect. If you want to, you can straighten the legs. Now that does feel a bit more intense, I must admit. Let's take a couple of breaths. Might feel a bit of a wiggle and a wobble and a quiver. Everything starts to vibrate a little bit after a while, and that's fine. But when you're ready, you're going to start to think about bringing the lower back to the ground. You've got it. Keeping the legs and head lifted. Ooh, it's a wobbly one. Good, and then when you're ready, start to think about lying down. Bring the head, the shoulders, the legs onto the ground. And actually, if you want to, if you're near a sofa, you can go and lie on the sofa. If you're near your bed, you can go and lie on your bed for this one. So wherever you want, get yourself super comfortable. I'm going to sit up, but you guys are going to stay lay down. And I'm going to talk you through a little guided relaxation. And if you don't want to do the guided relaxation, your call. No one will know. But if you do want to do the guided relaxation, go and get yourself comfortable. If you need a cushion, if you need a quilt, if you need some socks on, go and grab those now. And then when you're ready, come back to your lay out, reclined position, wherever that may be. Good. So as you lay here, nice and comfortable, just take a few moments to bring your awareness to any tension that you're still holding in the body. So if you're noticing that something in your body is still tense, the shoulders, the buttocks, the jaw, the face. See if you can relax that now. Allow yourself to soften in, sink into wherever it is you are. And then when you're ready, come back to the breath. Just noticing the inhales and the exhales. And see if you can notice the exhales in particular. See if you can make the exhales a little longer. Maybe you exhale through the mouth. And as you do so, see if you can feel yourself sinking a little bit deeper into whatever it is that you'll lay upon. Allowing the feet to sink a little bit deeper with each exhale that you take. The toes, the soles, the ankles, the heels. See if you can make the lower legs feel heavier with each exhale that you take. The calves, the shins, super heavy with each exhale that you take. Allowing the knees to become heavy. Thighs and upper legs become heavy with each breath that you take. Allowing the buttocks to relax and become heavy as you breathe. Allowing the lower body to relax, the belly, the space around the belly button, the lower back, the ribs, the space at the center of the chest. Allowing the upper back to relax with each breath that you take. The shoulders become heavy, the chest relax. Allowing the arms to become heavy and soft with each breath that you take. The upper arms, the lower arms, the hands, the fingertips and thumbs. Just taking a moment here to allow the neck to be relaxed. The neck, the throat, up into the jaw, teeth part slightly, allowing the tongue to relax inside the mouth, allowing the cheeks to let go, the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes inside the sockets, allowing the back of the head to relax, and the space around the ears, each and every tiny hair on the head. Just taking a couple of moments here to allow the entire body to feel relaxed. Allowing yourself to melt a little bit deeper with each exhale that you take. Good, you've got it. So just stay where you are. Start to think about any sounds that you can hear around you in your room. Maybe sounds that are nearby. And maybe sounds that are far away, that are outside of the room. Good. And then coming back to yourself. Noticing the clothes on your body. Noticing the different temperatures on your body. Where the clothes are touching, maybe a little bit warmer to the exposed portions of skin. Noticing the points of contact the body makes with the ground. So maybe you can feel the head touching down, maybe you can feel the shoulders touching down, or the elbows, the buttocks, the heels. And start to become aware of the body itself. Becoming aware of your fingertips, your toes. And when you're ready, if you'd like to, you can start to bring a little bit of life back into the body. Maybe you can curl and wiggle the fingers, curl and wiggle the toes. And if it feels good to do so, we can start to think about coming back into the room. We can start to think about taking a big stretch if that feels good. Maybe stretch the arms out above the head. Maybe stretch the feet out far away if that feels nice. And then when you're ready, if it feels good to do so, maybe bringing the knees back into the chest. Give yourself a cuddle, a squeeze, a love and a hug here. Maybe a little smile, that feels good too. So any ways that feels good to do so, we're going to start to think about coming back to a nice, comfortable, seated position, wherever that may be. So you can keep the eyes closed if you want to. You can open them if you wish. Super duper. So you've done awesomely, you've done brilliantly. It's amazing, you rock. So we're going to finish off now by bringing our palms together. I like to take them through the forehead, towards the lips and down into the heart. To remind us to have peace, love and happiness in all these places. Peace, love, happiness in our thoughts and all that we think about. Peace, love and happiness in our words and all that we speak about. Peace, love and happiness in our hearts and our intentions. Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in and watching this video on a super nice, gentle beginner's practice. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or feedback or any suggestions about anything that you'd like to try, you can leave that in the comments below once I have uploaded this video in a moment, or you can go to any of my platforms. You can go to Possy Yoga on Instagram, or you can go Possy Yoga on Facebook, or if you have me as a Facebook friend already, you can leave me a little comment. So it's Possy Yoga. I'd love to see your setups as well. A lot of people have been sending me pictures of their setups where they've been practicing. You can also subscribe to YouTube, so if I'm ever doing another live, you won't miss it. But namaste. Thank you for coming everyone, and I will see you again soon.